We would be honored if you would join us after you watch the final episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi, streaming now on Disney+.
Anakin.
Anakin's gone. I'm what remains.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Anakin. For all of it.
I am not your failure, Obi-Wan. You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did. The same way, I will destroy you.
Then my friend is truly dead. Goodbye, Darth.
The future is bright indeed. We're all of us dreaming of the better days ahead, and a part of your bright new future could be a move to where the magic lives in the greater Orlando area of Florida. One of the biggest decisions you'll make when considering a move is selecting a realtor who can successfully match you with the right home in the right location at the right price. Victor Naraki is the realtor who can help you make the move you've always wanted to. Whether you're a first-time homeowner or looking to move near Disney World, Victor is in your corner. If you are looking for an experienced real estate agent covering all of Central Florida, please visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today and find out just why you should work with Victor. I encourage you to create a free, no-obligation account on his website. By doing so, you'll unlock the website's full potential and be able to enter specific criteria, save listings, and browse new properties sent to your email. Visit DisneyAtYourDoorstep.com today or visit his Facebook page, Victor Naraki Realtor. And don't forget to tell him the Solo Show sent you.
Hello there.
There's a hunger for this character to come back. The fans have been waiting long enough, you know?
Something that's extremely exciting is the return of obviously Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. This is quite a dark time that we're coming into with him. Just being a Jedi, it's not safe. There's Jedi hunters out there.
At least he has this one task left, which is to keep Luke safe.
That's definitely a starting place for our story. The interesting thing is going to be where it goes from there.
The most beautiful thing of all is that it's brought me back together with Hayden.
We are bringing back Hayden Christensen to reprise the role of Darth Vader. We couldn't tell the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi without addressing Anakin or Vader.
Have another swing at each other. It might be quite satisfying for everybody. We hope that you enjoy it as much as we enjoy making it.
Well, hello there.
Hello there.
Wow, what an episode that was.
When he said have another swing at each other, he was not kidding.
Yep.
Right? True.
Round 3. We're going to go completely spoiler-ific. So if you haven't seen part 6 yet, and I don't know why you wouldn't have.
If you haven't seen part 6 and 1 through 5, why are you here as to fake it at the water cooler?
No kidding. I'm just going to say we have to unfriend you right now.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So yeah, we're going to go heavy into spoilers right off the hop. Let's go ladies first. Food Fairy Chris, how are you today? What was your thoughts on this episode?
Oh my goodness. This episode blew me away. I am still reeling from it. And when you said spoilerific, I love that term.
I think we need t-shirts with that now, Stan.
Yes.
Right.
Spoilerific.
I'm spoilerific today.
Yes.
Jedi Scott, and you had the Force on your side last night with the Colorado Avalanche winning game. What was that, 4?
It was game 4. So one more than
3 games
we
to
win
1.
the cup. Correct.
Oh man,
Sports ball.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'll take it however we can get them. A W's a W.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, they're back in Colorado tomorrow, I think.
Yep. They'll be
That's
back
it.
tomorrow.
What's a W?
It's a win.
Okay.
Come on.
Sports ball.
Okay, Sports Guy J. I mean Skipper J. What were your thoughts on this one?
I am going to give this show, just like Bad Batch, an A+++++++++. This was perfect Star Wars. I could not be any happier.
Yeah. I always find things to nitpick. I don't think I found anything to nitpick.
Nothing. This was this, like Bad Batch, was the perfect Star Wars, and I could not be any happier.
Yeah. And then Mission Commander Justin on assignment in location. Where are you there, Justin? He still can't hear him. No, we can't hear him at all.
He's on a secret mission. Don't make him give his location. The government will get this.
That secret.
And shut this episode down.
It's that secret.
It's so secret we just lost him.
And finally, your favorite voiceover guy, because he's my favorite voiceover guy. Voiceover guy Ken. What were your thoughts on this one?
Meh, it was okay.
Say what?
Of course. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I agree. Actually, you know what, Jay, you put it just about dead on perfectly. It was the Star Wars finale that we've all been dying to see. Like, I mean, for a moment there, it was like being back in the 80s with watching, the end of The Empire Strikes Back.
It was everything I ever wanted. Ever. It was perfect.
Yeah.
You laughed, you cried.
Yeah, I think I said it on one of the previous things that when I originally heard that Dave Filoni had stepped away from this one and they were putting Deborah Chow in charge of it 100%, I was a little bit hesitant. I take back anything and everything I ever said. I apologize to her family, to her dog, to her kitten,
her goldfish,
to her gold. Exactly. If she is not directing the next Star Wars movie, I'll hesitate for about a half a millisecond before I buy the ticket.
Alrighty. Mission Commander, you're on assignment. Where are you?
Okay. First of all, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yay!
Hear you.
Are you on the
technical
moon?
difficulties?
Yes, are you on the moon?
Are you a Space 220 not telling us?
So we are up in the Great White North. We are in Canada. We're off in the wilds of Canada. We've been in Banff and we are currently in Jasper.
It is. I can't believe the photos you're posting on your Facebook. They are absolutely stunning.
Yeah, they are.
We've had some great weather. We've had some great scenery going through the national parks. It's been wonderful.
I'm not going to say I'm jealous of your Moose and Mountains tour, but I'm jealous. I want to be there right now.
Me too, and I live here in Canada.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that over here.
Yeah, we've seen quite a bit of wildlife. We saw a bear today. We a couple of bears.
Cool.
At one point, we saw a bear and her cub in a tree right by the side of the road as we were driving up to.
Your pics have been awesome, by the way.
Yes.
The only one I need to question, though, okay, so that one you took, was that a glass floor bridge that you were on?
The one, there's a skywalk up by Columbia Icefield. They've got this glass walkway that goes out from the cliff that you can walk out and look straight down into the valley below.
Okay, why are there 3,000 people on that bridge with you at the same time?
Okay.
That looks so crowded.
Justin, you are more of a man than I am because if I saw that, I would throw up. I couldn't do it.
I wouldn't.
You have a huevos of stone, my friend.
Yeah.
They had way too many people on that bridge at one time, I think. You couldn't even see the floor. There were so many people on there. There was no glass floor as far as you could tell.
Yeah. Adventures by Disney was there at the same time we were. In fact, they were getting on the bus just ahead of us.
Okay. Anyways, we're not here to talk about Jasper. We're not here to talk about the Avs. We're here to talk Star Wars, and in particular, Obi-Wan Kenobi Part 6. Ken and I saw it in the theater yesterday.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I want to hear more about this experience.
So, Ken, why don't you start off about how the experience started?
Well, first of all, it was kind of nice to sit in a movie theater and not be blinded by the lights right through the first 10 minutes of the episode.
Ken and I have no luck when we go together to movies.
That seems to be the case because what happened, first of all, is we're sitting in the theater and they start the sound and we're like, okay, here we go. You hear the Lucasfilm little fanfare, the Star Wars little fanfare, and we're going, what's up?
Just that to say, it was cool that there was no trailers, there was no commercials. They went straight to the show, which was really, really cool. Yeah. It was a free promo type show. We didn't have to pay for this. Yeah, it was by invite only. Go ahead, Ken.
Oh, it's okay. No, I was just going to say, like, it went directly into the show, except there was no image on the screen, and we're kind of sitting here, blank screen. And
what?
Yeah, and we're like,
they wanted you to use your imagination.
I think that was it.
Use the Force.
Well, I think they expect us to pull out our phones and watch it on Disney Plus. Yeah, I think we could just get the theater sound.
Exactly. But actually, so they came in and they announced that they were going to actually start a little later to give everybody a chance to get in, get seated, this sort of thing. And Stan and I are sitting there looking at each other going, hey, we got here on time. What's your problem?
Yeah.
But so they went back and they actually did restart right from the beginning. And man, they had me right from that first shot with Reva walking up to the guy selling whatever that was, Gatorade or whatever it was. And she pushed
Space Gatorade.
Exactly. And I was into it right from that shot. I thought, oh crap, she's tracked him right to Tatooine. And I thought, okay, we are in for something special here. The one thing I've said about this show all along is that it has a very cinematic feel. It has the wide expanse of everything. It has the very much a feeling of watching it on a large screen. And it translated to the big screen just beautifully. The shots were gorgeous. The thing that impressed me most of all, and this I guess is the reason why you want to see it on a big screen, is the shots of the fight, which we'll get to, between Vader and Obi-Wan, are all very dark. They're all shot at night. It's in a very dark place. There's no illumination other than the sabers. And it just translated to the large screen. Like, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. I'm actually getting gooseflesh just thinking about it. It translated just beautifully to the big screen. And that's what I say. It was like I was just yanked right back to 1983 when I saw Return of the Jedi at the theater on the first day. And it was like an amazing experience. And I'm so glad we had the opportunity to see it.
Ken, I love you said that because we kept saying, I was floored when Empire came out. This was the Darth Vader that was the boogeyman of my childhood.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
The other thing too, in the theater, they didn't show us the previously on at all, or they have the flashes of the different, the blue and red flashes of the different droids and whatnot. They didn't have that either. They went straight into the show.
Wow.
Yeah. So let's get into the show. So so as Ken said, we started off on Tatooine, and I think they were selling water, is what I think was what they.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And so the third sister comes looking for Owen, and then we know why she's there because we found out from the last episode, and we cut to the Star Destroyer, and that was the scene for me, Ken, that really did it for me in the theater, was seeing that Star Destroyer on their big screen again. Yeah. Because it's been a long time since we saw a Star Destroyer.
Stan, in my notes, I want to ask all you guys. This was the first time I remember seeing a Star Destroyer from the side view attacking a ship. I don't remember ever seeing a side view of a Star Destroyer before.
I think there might have been a couple in Empire when they were pursuing the Falcon just before they went into the asteroid field. But you're right; that's not an angle they've taken.
It just really stood out to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, I like the scene that the scene where they're actually you kind of get the front view, and it's almost an exact replica of them shooting at the Tatooine 4 or 5, whatever it was, and then New Hope. Yeah, that was a scene that was really stood out for me.
Yeah.
Well, and I enjoyed the music. Seeing that the Star Destroyer come in with the music.
Yeah, they actually they took a little lift of John Williams there from the pursuit of Empire Strikes Back.
Yep.
Oh, we will talk about the music at the end, but I will wait till that.
Oh, please, yes, we got to set aside a couple of minutes about the music.
Yeah. So we get inside the rebel ship, and of course, it's a bad motivator. If it's something wrong with Star Wars, it's always a bad motivator.
Yep.
Is the problem.
By the way, that was my nickname in high school.
That's my excuse for not doing anything. I would just say I have a bad motivator today.
Yeah. I think motivators are kind of like those what is the thing that everyone's stealing now, the catalytic converters.
Yes.
It's always taking the motivators out of everything.
It's going to be my excuse.
It's a battery. It's their batteries. That's what it really is. They're out of batteries.
Yeah. So we see little Leia kind of demonstrating her leadership skills by entertaining some of the kids with her little Lola. I thought that was a kind of a cute scene.
Who else has ordered a Lola? They're only $99.99.
Oh, really?
I was looking at them.
Oh, I did too. Yes.
Yeah, I got one.
Has anybody else noticed that Disney has finally figured out a way to get a pair of mouse ears on a droid?
Yeah. That's what this really is, isn't it?
10 points to Ken. 10 points to Ken.
Yeah. So we go back to Tatooine, and Luke and Owen. I guess that's Tashi Station that they're in. Getting some.
Sense, yeah.
Getting
sure.
a belt. Yeah. That's what I heard. Is that was supposed to be Tashi Station.
Did you notice? Did anybody else think that reminded them a lot of Watto's store in Phantom Menace?
Yep.
I didn't see that at all.
I thought that as well, and I think, but it makes sense. It's another store on Tatooine. I mean,
but I do have to ask, who else wondered, is Luke wearing one outfit for 19 years?
And it's super stretchy.
Okay, this question brought to you by a Doctor Who fan, I would like to point out.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm just saying, it's something I noticed.
It's just add water.
Well, I'm still wearing T-shirts and jeans and the jean jacket, the exact same thing I wore when I was 10. That's my go-to outfit: T-shirt, jeans, and a jean jacket. So a local comes in to warn Owen that the third sister is out looking for him, and good thing that he warned. I think that was nice, very neighborly of him. So back on the rebel ship, Obi-Wan has a plan to leave with the hopes that Vader and the Star Destroyer will follow him. I don't understand.
So they left behind the really big ship and took the next biggest ship, and apparently there's another smaller ship for Obi-Wan to take from this ship as well.
Yeah.
Thank God for plot armor.
It's like a nested doll of ships until we finally get down to Lola.
A nesting doll, yes.
And did anyone else think that rescue ship looked like the ships from Rise of the Resistance? Or is it just me?
I don't know.
I think it's supposed to be a similar design, at least.
I'll have to watch it again.
I didn't notice.
I'm a nerd. I couldn't help but notice.
So then Owen and Luke return to the farm, and they decided to stand their ground rather than run and hide or try to get help. Good idea? Bad idea? Justin, what do you think?
I don't know if it was a great idea, but Beru was certainly on board with that.
She held her own, too.
She had her secret little staff.
We're doing this, and we're doing it alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I loved how she was ready for the fight.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah,
I love that.
And she pulled out the guns and tosses it to him.
Yes.
Here you go, spy boy.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made me think of in A New Hope when Luke says how he's so far away from all this action and whatnot. And he seems to have forgotten this bit when he was 10 and was being chased by a Sith Inquisitor.
To be fair, 10 is a really long time ago. I can't remember much.
True.
I remember everything from when I was 10. Anyways, so back on the ship, Leia doesn't want Kenobi to leave. She say, "You promised me you're going to take me to my dad, and now you're leaving." And Haja doesn't know how to babysit. He's a horrible baby. So he gives her a holster.
You leave Camille alone. We love him. And his wife. They're great comedians.
I said last week, and I repeat it here. I think he would make a great character to see in other things going forward. I think he has
I'm
some
pretty sure
definite
we'll
potential.
see him in Andor.
I hope so.
I was just going to say I'll lay a dollar bet out that which in the United States is like 300, but I'll put down a buck that we definitely see him in Andor.
Yeah.
So Ken, if I do betting for you, I get $2.99. You get one.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, good. Let me take some bets for you.
I'll pay you in poutine.
I love poutine.
Nice.
Poutine and maple candy. I'm good.
There you go. Such a deal.
So Ben gives her a holster, and she says, "Scott."
I don't know. I can't remember.
She says it's empty.
But no blaster?
You caught me off guard.
Yep.
She says it's empty, and he goes, "Well, you're 10 years old. I'm not giving you a blaster." Anyways, so this I like this quiet scene where Obi-Wan is kind of sitting off to the side. He's kind of looking at his saber, and he says, "I have to face him, Master. Whether he dies or I do, this ends today."
Yeah.
Yep.
Guess again, Ben.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this is
It's
a
one of
third
those
choice.
things. It's like we all know that this is not the end for these two. Either one of
I
them.
kept having to tell Chris as we watched this, you know who makes it to A New Hope. Relax.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Sorokin comes in and lets Kenobi know that the escape ship is ready. Now, why didn't they all just go in this escape ship that actually has a working motivator and hyperdrive?
I think because it's too small.
Right.
Yeah, it looked too small.
But couldn't they have taken the motivator or hyperdrive out of the little ship and maybe use the scavenge the parts?
Yeah, exactly.
I was wondering about that myself. It's like having a working hyperdrive, you think they could move it from one ship to another.
Right. Take it out and put it in the other one and just escape.
Oh, one's a Ford, the other one's a Chevy. It's not going to work.
Yeah, that's true.
You stop that. My Ford was great the whole time I had it.
So anyway, so Obi-Wan tells the him people follow you. He says to Orokin, he says, people follow you. He says, there aren't many leaders left. Don't stop. And he says, I'm just getting started.
Yep.
Is that
another one we're going to see a lot of, I think.
Yeah, we'll see him again.
Yeah.
Who else thought we'll see him in animation after this?
I think we're seeing him in Andor. Is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we're going to see both of them in Andor. So Obi-Wan takes off, and of course Vader follows him. Says the order, follow him. I don't care about the rebels. This is the guy I need. So Kenobi
the Grand
heads to
Inquisitor
the
did not agree.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
Who else wants to come back from death like the Grand Inquisitor? Just like nothing happened. Just here I am.
Well, not only the Grand Inquisitor. Let's talk about Reva for a second here.
Mm-hmm.
Did I miss was I out having too much poutine when?
Okay, I want to ask.
I missed something here
because we noticed that when Vader stabbed her, it seemed to be through the upper chest, like the heart. But in this episode, it was like she got stabbed through the abdomen, and she kept struggling through it. Like it was one of those really inconsistent moments that we noticed.
Yeah, I don't know necessarily if it was as high as heart level, but I want to say it was more stomach, but she did seem more to concentrate on almost like an appendix level of where she was hurting. So, but I guess when you get stabbed by a lightsaber, you're going to hurt everywhere. So,
So is Han still alive? He got stabbed in the stomach.
The wound is cauterized. You're good to go.
Yeah. I was actually going to say that. There is something to that. We've seen like the fact that when Luke gets his hand cut off in Empire Strikes Back, there's no blood in the scene because the energy level from the saber does cauterize the wound immediately. So it's conceivable that she could walk away from that. I mean, or limp away. And I'll give Moses Ingram some credit here. She portrayed the pain and the struggle that she was going through. Like every step you could see hurt.
Big time. But it makes me wonder then, why did Qui-Gon die so easily from being stabbed?
Well,
because he had to.
Yeah, pretty much.
And Han is another one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But don't forget, Han fell off of that precipice.
Let's not go there because I have a million complaints about Han's death. I'm not going to go there.
Yeah.
Well, and Palpatine. How far did Palpatine fall and he survived?
Okay,
and it blew up.
I wanted to talk about Palpatine at the end.
We'll talk to Palpatine at the end.
Yes.
So, anyways, so Kenobi follows him down, and he in his. I was wanting to see Kenobi's TIE fighter, or not Kenobi's, Vader's TIE fighter, and we got the Imperial shuttle, which is probably like my favorite ship of all the Star Wars ships. Is that Imperial tri-wing shuttle? But I really wanted to see Vader's TIE fighter come in. And he gets there, and the old man stole little Leia's Lola.
Well, I don't think he stole it. I think she slipped it to him.
Yeah, I know. I'm joking.
Again, hoping to see him again.
She put it there so she would see him again.
Yeah.
Like a rupee, she slipped it to him.
It's like that Seinfeld episode. All old people steal batteries. Anyways, so back on Tatooine, Owen tells Luke that the Tusken Raiders have been raiding farms and he needs to hide. And if it gets too intense, to run. Just run. And then Luke says, I'm not afraid. When was the last time Luke said this? Or it was later on, I should say. I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you will be. You will be. Yeah, so a little tip of the nod there.
Yeah.
So Reva, How long is it? How far of a walk is that? Like, she left at noon, and it's now what, midnight?
Okay, Stan, I was thinking of you the entire time I watched the show because everyone parked 10 miles away and walked 10 miles here and 10 miles there.
Well, I think what happened in this case was, so she asked, where's the Lars homestead? And the guy probably said, oh, it's like 5 minutes that way. And she started walking. And then, like, is she walking that? Like, I meant 5 minutes by speeder, not.
I live in the country. It's yonder here, yonder there. You'll just get there when you get there.
I think the best explanation comes from Baru, who specifically pointed out that Riva would most likely wait until night to attack.
Yeah.
Well, here's a couple things I did find interesting. Okay, so Owen was at the Tashi station getting a belt, and he got the news. She already knew where they lived, so he passed her going back to the homestead. Like, she was already on her way, I'm guessing. So he passed her. And not only that, where was Bail Organa? Because did he not last week says, I'm going to go check up on the boy because I haven't heard from you and I'm worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he died?
Honestly, if you were on Alderaan, would you leave?
But he even, like, what was the purpose of his message saying, I'm going to go to Tatooine and check up on the boy. I'm going to go see where Owen's doing.
See, I thought it was Ben in that message saying the girl's here, the boy's here, and she picked up on that and went after.
No, that was
Bail Organa.
Yeah, Bail
Organa.
said he would go to see Luke.
In his incredibly stupid message.
Yeah. I'm going to go to 123 Tatooine Avenue and go check out on Luke Vader.
Maybe Bail didn't want to go because gas was too expensive.
Yeah,
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Listeners of the future, that joke is for its time.
Yeah. Exactly. Or we could say that Bail bailed.
There you go. There you go.
There's the dad joke.
I did like it how he did. Well, he blamed it on the Tatooines. I don't know. It's kind of racial profiling, but whatever. He says the Tatooines are attacking.
Those Tusken Raiders always attacking.
Yeah. What did I say?
Boba Fett mans love them. What the heck, man?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
The Larses will never like them.
right.
So Riva walks into the Lars homestead at night, and she sets off the alarms. And Aunt Baru and Uncle Owen have the plan to ambush them, which seemed like a really good plan. But I don't understand why he kept He had the backup gun, but he had it in the other room. Did you notice that? Like, he was shooting, and
I really don't understand why they didn't go for the headshot and just end it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like they're
just be done with it.
It seemed like a great plan.
Again, she's meant to be in other episodes, so
yeah.
She'll be in comics and video games from now on.
Yes.
Yeah. So we go back to did anybody catch the name of the planet that they were on?
No, I didn't.
Remember hearing that? No.
Yeah, I don't even think they even brought it up.
No.
Yeah.
I thought they had mentioned it at one point, but I didn't.
They
catch
said
that.
it, but I couldn't tell you what it is, so I'm going to call it her.
Yeah, I didn't catch the name at all. But anyways, they're on this planet with these big, long, tall, skinny mountains.
Yes.
And Vader and Kenobi start going at it.
And Kenobi was sitting there waiting for Vader as he got out of the ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how many people are in the audience were going, okay, this is the fight I've been waiting to see.
Justin, you just hit it because I was going to ask, who else has been waiting their entire life to see this exact fight?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was everything I ever wanted and more.
Yeah, it did not let me down in any way.
I think it's safe to say that they rocked it.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my. I have to say, there's a video on YouTube that it's easy to track down. It's a couple of fans did a revision of the original fight between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader on the Death Star, making it a little bit more action. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, you had poor Alec Guinness, who was already in his mid-60s, I think, at this point, against David Prowse, who at the time was 6'5" and 275 pounds of solid mass. I mean, it would have been over in about 13 seconds. And I think that was the whole point of this fight scene, was like, we're going to make this fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Vader as dramatic as we wanted the original to be.
Yeah.
You know what,
Yeah.
Ken, though? Now that I'm in my mid-40s, I look at that original lightsaber fight from A New Hope and go, oh, I get that. My back hurts.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Well, and I
wanna
think
pull a
part of the
muscle.
thing too is at the time the idea was that those lightsabers were supposed to be very heavy
Right.
and cumbersome to wield, and so it was supposed to be slow. And now, as we've gone forward in time and seen the prequels and how that fighting style was depicted, now we expect that to be a little more actiony and such.
Yeah. Were you going to say, Scott?
No, I just enjoyed it. You know, with the fight scene, how they used the Force, with the surroundings and all that, with the rocks, and no, it was good.
Yeah. And then we had a new. I've never seen this before with the Force, is when he puts his hand down and creates a pothole.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that pothole was about the same size as the one I got down my street.
Yep.
It was a big one. Ken can attest to it.
I can say he's not exaggerating.
I mean, basically, what it did was created like an earthquake, and it just split open. So
now, who was expecting Vader at that point to say, "I have the high ground"?
That would maybe be my only disappointment in the entire episode.
Right?
Yeah.
I was thinking more like, who has the high ground now? Huh?
Hey, who has it now? Huh?
Yeah.
High ground, biatch. And Vader's voice would be great.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so he basically buries him alive and really walks away. He doesn't leave the planet. He just takes a breather, I guess. I don't know. he goes somewhere.
Starts wandering back to his ship, you know.
Yeah.
Checking out the local scenery.
Which, Stan, you haven't said anything that Vader parked 2 miles away and walked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know how hard it is to get parking near an arena venue. So.
Near a rock.
Especially a rock concert, you know.
So Ben starts getting these flashbacks, and he starts off being kind of depressing, and he starts thinking about Luke, he starts thinking about Leia, and how he has to protect them, and he frees himself. He's good. So once again, they battle. They go at it for another, and I like this fight better than the first fight.
I agree.
Yeah. This was the highlight.
I did like in particular that Vader used the same trick on him that he used on Reva of using the Force to stop the saber.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of things we've seen before, like the back-to-back fighting that we saw during the training sequence last week. There was a lot of things. A lot
of callbacks like that. I loved it.
But the one thing we did see that was new that I loved, I thought it was such a cool move, was when Ben took the butt of his saber and smashed his digital chest plate.
Yeah.
Did anyone else think that was a lucky blow on his part?
No, that was intentional.
No,
that was deliberate.
Yeah.
The thing about that fight for me was that this is, and they alluded to that a little later on, this was so kind of shocking to see Vader on the defensive for once. To see Vader kind of, literally cracked open,
Yeah, especially when, he hit him, the helmet, and that split open and all those sparks started flying, and that was really intense.
Again, that was the Vader that scared me as a child. That was
and then when
Vader
you saw part of his face and then the voices they had blending together.
Wasn't that brilliant?
Was so cool.
Yeah, hearing it go back and forth between James Earl Jones and then Hayden Christensen and then a little of both. Like as a sound guy, that actually sent chills down my spine.
That
it really
was
did.
amazing.
They did that before in Rebels when Ahsoka and Vader fought.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka knocked off the one side of the mask, and that same type of thing happened.
I will say, as soon as the mask was cut in half, I looked at Chris and went, I want that Black Series figure on my shelf.
Well, not only that. Go ahead, Scott.
Well, I think too, Ben or Obi-Wan, he was surprised to see how disfigured Anakin was. I think he was shocked.
He didn't know what was underneath there.
Yeah. No, I'm just going to kind of, at the end of watching it in the theater, they had a question and answer session with Deborah Chow and Hayden Christensen. And one of the things they talked about was the makeup process that Hayden Christensen had to go under. And they asked how long was it? And he says it was between 4 to 5 hours each morning to get that makeup done.
Wow.
And what was funny
was he playing Darth Vader in the scenes where Vader was in full costume?
Okay, so that came up as well. He said that he was often in the full costume, but a lot of the fighting scenes he had to attribute to this one particular stuntman that did a lot of the scenes. He says I have to give huge thanks to him. But I think any you just see him standing or when you see him walking, that was Hayden. They said that the Vader costume itself is extremely difficult to wear because you can't see anything. You can't. It's hard to breathe. It's extremely hot. Which
is ironic that it's hard to breathe in.
Yeah. yeah. So, but so he did mention that he wants to give thanks to the stunt performers that did the actual fighting in that question and answer session. He did say though that removing the masks, he says he really liked the time in the morning just sitting there getting the makeup applied, but he says removing it was a very poor opening experience. Because they actually glued a prosthetics to him. He says he lost eyebrows.
How many days did he have to wear that? In all honesty,
well, it was also like anything in the back to tank.
Yeah,
all those scenes that were filmed, he had to put the makeup on and all that.
A day and a half most. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it was probably knowing. With these productions, yeah, probably.
Yeah, you would hope they would film all those scenes one right after another, so you wouldn't have to keep doing that.
I will say I really appreciated the fact that he came back. Now, I wasn't here last week, but that he did Anakin and Vader, and it was everything a Clone Wars fan could want.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think too. I've heard a lot of people criticize Hayden Christensen in Revenge of the Sith and Attack of the Clones not being the greatest actor in the world, and I've been kind of agree with that to a certain. I think he redeemed himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Even just that last 2 minutes redeemed because you could see it in the eyes. It was just all there.
Yeah, I don't think you could all blame him on it for though. A lot of it's the director's direction on it.
Sure. And I do want to defend Hayden because I thought because he played the part of an outsider, somebody who's not wanted by his religion, somebody who's constantly put over here. I always thought he did a great job of playing an outsider in the Jedi Council, somebody who has not been allowed to grow as a person, but has been stunted the whole time.
Yeah. Well, and I said too that I think that Hayden Christensen had a better director to work with this time that allowed him to actually kind of emote and act and be the actor that he needed to be. I think that helped him to be a better actor for this.
I gotta be honest, 20 years later, I've become very forgiving of the prequels.
Jay, when I first met you told me you hated the prequels. You've done a bunch of 360.
When we first met, like 5 or 6 years ago, I hated the prequels, and now I love them.
Yeah. You were almost off the show when you said that.
I love the prequels, and I have no shame in that.
Okay.
No, I think the prequels got a bad rap all along. I never had as big a problem with them.
Yeah, me either. Even Jar Jar.
So Vader's sitting there with the split voice, the split in his head. We finally find out how that happens. His mask is... He must got a closet full of these helmets.
He's got it.
This is now... He's on at least number 3 that we know of.
Yep.
And Obi-Wan says, "I'm sorry, Anakin. I'm sorry for all of it." And then Vader... He had a weird smile. You could see the little lips of his... corner of his lips going up. He says, "You didn't kill Anakin Skywalker. I did."
Yeah,
I am going to get very.
And then, but then he has to say, "And I'm going to destroy you." What are you going to do? Bleed on me?
He's the Black Knight at that point.
I just want to say really quick, and this is what got me about the series. As somebody who has had to deal with complex PTSD and has had to really get therapy to move on from it, that's what I appreciated most about the show was Obi-Wan's journey to getting on the other side of PTSD.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
I thought that moment between the two of them, strangely beautiful. It's almost like Anakin saying to Obi-Wan, "I forgive you."
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think it put closure for Obi-Wan.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. Plus, it harkens back to the line when Luke says, "You told me Vader killed my father," and then Obi-Wan says, "Well, from a certain point of view."
Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
He could, he told me himself that he killed Anakin.
Who else at this age in their life can blame Alec Guinness for teaching you how to lie? That's how I saw it.
Well, the thing is, he didn't lie. He didn't. Vader himself said, "I killed Anakin." It wasn't he who killed Anakin.
Came out and admitted it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
this was the moment when Obi-Wan realizes that the Anakin Skywalker that he knew is well and truly dead.
Yeah.
And the line where he says, "Goodbye, Darth." And he just
Oh, I loved that. That
that
actually was
such
fantastic.
a good
Plot hole fixed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, everybody would go like, "Why didn't you kill him?" Why didn't he kill him? Not saying because we need him in Episode 4. Why didn't Obi-Wan finish it?
Because he said the line. He actually said the line in the previous episode. Jedi don't take lives; we protect them. And at that moment, Obi-Wan was a Jedi again. No, that's the way I'm going to choose to interpret.
How many stormtroopers did they mount?
As I told Chris when we watched this, we know who makes it to Episode 4. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when Obi-Wan was on the ship, right before he went off in his escape pod, he was talking to himself, this needs to end. Either him or I are going to be gone.
Yeah, it ends today.
Yeah, I agree. You know, he could have
Maybe he thought that
right then and there.
Maybe he thought that Vader was going to die there anyway. I mean, his whole breathing apparatus was destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you left the guy with no limbs and on fire, and he's still.
Didn't Obi-Wan learn his lesson?
Take his head off,
Obi-Wan. It's like, okay, well, next time I'll let him kill me and be done with it, and we'll be fine. I won't have to worry about it anymore.
I got to say, I was thinking about that scene in Avengers Endgame where Thor takes off Thanos' head. He said, "I went for the headshot," and I'm thinking that's what you should have done right there. It's like you should have gone for the headshot.
In all fairness, who hasn't had an ex like that?
I think it's just that Obi-Wan can't. I think it's just that Obi-Wan can't. He can't do it.
Yeah.
Just he can't kill his former.
Even believing that the Anakin he knew is dead, that is still who is standing in front of him or kneeling in front of him at that point.
I mean, he had tears in his eyes, and that was a very emotional scene.
Yeah.
That was the first time I cried.
He knows that Luke is growing up, and there is another hope. So
I think that's where we need to applaud Ewan McGregor, because he acted through his eyes this whole series.
He did.
That was amazing.
What Obi-Wan was feeling because of how he acted.
That was one of the things that they said during the question and answer, was how Deborah Chow was really good at showing us and not telling us.
Yeah, exactly.
During this whole series. And that was a prime example of how they would just show Obi-Wan's eyes or Ewan McGregor's eyes or face, and that told us the story without telling us the story.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Tatooine. Luke ran away. Rava's chasing after him. I want to point out, I watched it 3 times now, and Luke does not see her lightsaber ever.
No.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. So
when Luke sees Anakin's lightsaber when in Ben's house in Episode 4, that's his first time seeing a laser sword.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So just something, I know that people are saying, well, he saw a lightsaber. No, he did not. He did not.
He did not.
He never saw that. Yeah, and he hit his head and it was knocked out. So he didn't really see Reva that much either.
No. He didn't.
As far as he knew, it was a Tusken Raider chasing after him.
Yeah.
Realistically. Yeah.
I mean, he never really actually sees her in the dark there. And I think, I'm not 100% sure, but does she use the Force to knock him off there?
Yeah, she does.
I mean, for a moment,
and I don't think she uses it on
him.
I think she uses it on the rocks below his feet, because they kind of come down and he falls.
Yeah. I think that's where I got confused. It looked like he just lost his footing.
That was my one big complaint about this episode, was it was hard to see a lot of things because it was so dark. I mean, I understand the reasoning behind it, but I had to rewind things and watch them 2 and 3 times so I could really understand what was happening on the TV.
Yeah,
Chris,
if I'd had more time,
twice,
I would have watched it a second time in complete darkness just to kind of pick up some of that, because it was very dark.
But Chris is right there. If I hadn't watched it twice, I wouldn't have caught some of those things.
Yes.
Yeah, it was the second viewing that I saw that she used the Forces on the rocks versus on him. The theater, I think, was really good. The theater was amazing for watching.
Yeah, I think it would
I believe it would
to see in there. Yeah.
Rub it in.
Yeah.
other than starting 15 minutes late and getting no picture for the first 5 minutes. The audience was very quiet throughout the whole, which was nice too. So she uses the Force, knocks him out. She has him dead to rights. She could easily, take him out, and instead she sees herself in him, and kind of is rethinking her life choices at this moment.
I'm just going to say right here, right now, I called this back in episode 1.
Yeah,
that is true.
That
she doesn't want to kill a child because she knows that fear from her own experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Okay,
Ben somehow
scene
gets,
number 2 where I cried too. So
yeah,
I'm just saying.
So Ben somehow gets a feeling like Luke's in trouble, and he puts it in hyperdrive. And no,
that's the fastest we've ever seen anyone get anywhere in all of the Star Wars franchise. Ever.
I was not been very far away.
I was just thinking about that. So Tatooine's on the outer rim territories. Now we know that Alderaan is more in the central because they're heading to Alderaan from Tatooine, and they had time to play chess. They had time to practice lightsaber.
Yeah.
Stan, you have ruined that part of Star Wars for me because anytime anyone parks their ship, now I go, how long is the walk?
Well, so here's the thing. So
it only works for Vader, but nobody else.
So Ben parks right in the Lars Homestead backyard. Like he's right in there. And somehow Beru and Owen didn't even notice that he landed. They're still calling for Luke. He lands, he gets out, and he hears them. They didn't hear the ship at all.
Well, and then on top of it, they're calling out for Luke, right? He goes over, and what's the first question he asks? Where's Luke? Well, of course they don't know. They're looking for him. Oh, well, he's right over there.
Yeah, and so Ben says, "I'll go to the Jugland Waste, like the nearest."
The Dune Sea.
The Dune Sea,
yes.
There we go.
I'll go the furthest away to look. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and then they see Reva walking back. Carrying him. And she brings him
dead,
back.
Obviously.
Yeah. Well, that's what the assumption was, that she brought him back dead. And of course, we all know that, he wasn't. He was fine. It was cool.
Just in his head.
So Reva kind of decides, like Lou Ben says, this is your life now. You get to choose what you're going to do going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see her? Is she going to join a Tusken Raider clan? Is she going to join the rebellion? Is she going to become a farmer somewhere? What's her future?
Animated series is where we'll see her.
But what role will she be playing there, do you think, Jay?
I think we're going to see somebody who has given up the dark side and maybe not pick the path of the Jedi, but like Ahsoka, pick the path of the gray Jedi, who is neither light nor dark.
What do you think, Scott?
No, I kind of agree with what Jay just said. I don't think she's going to go full out Jedi again. I think she could, she's going to try to atone for what she did and try to help people.
Maybe be like Black Widow, try to erase the red in her ledger, so to speak, by doing good.
Yeah, exactly.
In some way.
Do you think we'll see her in Andor?
I'm going to say probably not.
Okay, that's a no.
I don't think so.
Scott says no.
It's hard to say. I don't know if she's a character that would transition to that storyline.
I honestly think her TV story is over. Her live action story is over. This is a character like Cal Kestis, who's going to be a comic and game character going forward.
What do you think?
Because we have 10 years between now and A New Hope.
What do you think, Justin?
I don't know if she's going to be in Andor specifically, but I do think we'll pick up more of her story in some form.
Okay. I think we'll see her in Andor.
Okay.
I think her and is the same Roken will Roken.
I can see Roken showing up there because I think that's going to fit in very well. I think we're going to see kind of some of those early days of the rebellion and things like that. I don't know if she fits in with that.
Yeah, she might not be full on rebellion, but I think she's going to make an appearance. That's what I'm saying.
I do want to say, even if we don't come back for Series 2, this was the perfect middle point between prequels and original trilogy that I wanted.
Mm-hmm. Somebody suggested that Series 2 should be where Obi-Wan meets like a teenage Luke, and they go off on an adventure where they have to rescue Princess Leia, and they hire Chewie and Han to help them. And my response to that was, there's no way Princess Leia is going to get captured again. The fans will lose it if they repeat themselves again. Like that.
Right.
Okay, this may go back to an early episode, but did anyone else think this is totally why she snaps at Vader at the first one. Oh, Vader, only you could be so bold. Jesus.
She's already been through this. She's probably kidnapped every other week.
Yeah, she didn't have time for this anymore.
Yeah.
The phone calls will just be from Bail Organa. It would just be Ben. She's gone again.
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way.
Nine more years, 9 more series of Ben going to save Leia.
Leia's kidnapping number 12.
I gotta say, one thing I would have loved. I mean, maybe there's a fan demo in this somewhere. Wouldn't anybody would have loved to have heard Liam Neeson giving the Taken speech after finding out that Leia has been kidnapped? I don't know who you are.
I'm a ghost. I will find you.
Exactly. I wanted to hear him say, "I have a certain set of skills," just once, you know.
So we cut back to Vader's castle, and he's bound and determined to get Kenobi. We'll do anything. We'll get him. Don't worry, Emperor. We'll get him. And the Emperor's like, nah, I think you're too concerned. And that was kind of the only groaning moment was the Emperor
Drink a
talked
tea,
first time.
meditate, and think about is what he said. Okay, this is the pen I put it earlier, and this really made me sad. Did anyone else think in this little hologram of Palpatine that he looks the actor himself looks really old now?
Yeah.
It really
something about the way he talked, even it just
his voice wasn't there either. Yeah,
he just seemed old and tired compared to the one we met in episode 5.
It actually got a bit of a chuckle in the theater when he spoke the first time. Yeah. It was kind of it was a bit of a chuckle in the theater when.
Well, I thought his face actually looked better than from the original trilogy. When you see him in Empire, his face is just all squished together.
So he basically convinces Vader that Kenobi's dead too. Forget about him. Let's do other evil stuff instead. Build the Death Star and blow up planets.
Man, you say that to me every
I think
weekend.
he's jealous. It's like, go, stop obsessing over your ex-master. Focus on me, your current master.
Yeah, I'm your master.
Get over your ex and pay attention to me.
All you talk about is your ex.
Yeah.
Well, then how quick
We've all been there. All you talk about is your ex. Give me a break.
Oh my god.
So back on the Alderaan, Leia's getting dressed, complete with a holster. I thought that was awesome. She now has her holster, and she keeps Lola in it.
Yeah, so that was very cool, actually.
Yeah. So she's on the landing platform.
99 if you want a Lola.
She's on the landing platform, and Obi-Wan's ship lands. She doesn't recognize the ship right away. I mean, she watched it through the window leave just a couple days earlier. But anyway, she didn't recognize the ship right away. By the way, so Ben now has a new ship.
Yeah.
he's cruising around the galaxy.
As they would say on The Expanse, it's a legitimate salvage.
So he comes out, and she doesn't really bat an eye until she sees Lola, and then she gets excited. So Bail Organa says, "We can never repay you. You know, I'm living in a cave." And you guys are in the penthouse in the biggest castle in all of Alderaan. I think you could come up with something.
Yeah. Anyone else get sad to see Jimmy Smith so old all of a sudden?
Yeah.
And that was a bad hairpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was a terrible hairpiece. I mean, that's like that makes William Shatner's hairpieces look like
toothpaste and sunglasses. I'm going to Tatooine and selling both.
Yeah.
So instead of Obi-Wan asking for a couple of Tatooine tokens, he just says, "You know, if you need my help again, you know where to find me."
Yeah.
I think that's why he moves. Just so he can get Bail.
Exactly.
Bail is looking for him.
I get that. I'm old and want to be left alone. I'll keep moving until people don't find me.
Yeah, exactly. So Ben tells Leia, I thought this was an amazing moment. He tells Leia, he says, "You are wise, descending, and kind-hearted. This comes from your mother. You are also passionate, fearless, and forthright. These are gifts from your father." I thought that was very well written and well performed.
That was where I cried the third time.
Yep. You know what? Me too. I admit it. I did too.
He says, "Both were exceptional people that bore exceptional daughter. I wish I could tell you more."
I really felt like this cleaned up the continuity of the line at episode 3 when episode 6 when Leia goes, I remember my mother kinda.
Yeah.
They talked about in the question and answer forum at the end of the theater showing casting of little Leia, and they said that they weren't looking so much for someone that looked like her or someone that acted like her. They wanted somebody that kind of had the same personality of Leia and Carrie Fisher both. And they didn't want to show like here's a video of Carrie Fisher, can you act like her? They wanted to see someone that had her spunk and her personality, and that's what they were looking for. And I got to say, they nailed it.
Yeah, they did.
Perfect casting, yeah.
Oh, absolutely. This little actress knocked it out of the park all the way through.
We kept saying this is the next Meryl Streep.
Yep.
Yeah, she has a big future ahead of her.
Yep.
I agree. I think so too.
Yeah. So we get to the scene where Ben's moving out of his cave. I guess he sold the ship and bought a homestead.
He bought another cave.
Well, no, because we see him in A New Hope. He actually has a house. So I think he sold that ship that he was given, and he didn't have the blue paper. What was Luke cleaning? A moonshine still?
It looked like it, didn't it?
There's copper wires coming out of it and stuff. Copper piping.
Coming soon to Galaxy's Edge, Skywalker moonshine.
Yeah, now we know what to do with all that water that they get out of the air. They make moonshine out of it.
Right.
I would too if I was stuck on Tatooine all day.
I would too.
I agree.
So Owen says, "I thought you were going to be leaving us alone. What are you doing here?" I will. I'm leaving. Trust me. I thought it was really nice how Ben or Owen says, "Would you like to meet him?"
Yeah.
Because he only watched him from a distance, and he brings the T-16 Skyhopper toy back to him.
Yeah.
We get the hello there, and that's it.
Is that not the moment?
Go ahead, Ken.
All I was going to say was that was the moment I've been waiting for, to hear him do that, to talk of, well, hello there. You know, that was I giggled like a schoolgirl.
I thought that was going to be the end of the series right there.
Yeah. And that's the way they edited it to feel that way. And that hello there, I think, got the biggest reaction out of the audience throughout the entire night, because it was a very, very quiet crowd. The Emperor talking was kind of like a groan sound throughout the audience, but the hello there got everybody kind of cheering a little bit. And and he rides off, not into the sunset, but he rides off towards the mountain range. And I thought the same thing. It was going to be the end.
And also, dun, da, 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 da.
But no, we see Liam Neeson.
And he spoke.
Okay,
and he's on screen.
Say it right now. I called it in episode 1.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Final scene, last shot of the last episode.
Yeah.
I win. That's all there is.
You did get that. Yeah, you did say that. Yes. So
I think we've said kind of all the way through that we thought we'd at least hear his voice in that last scene.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't expect to see him on screen. I was very, very excited and thrilled to see that.
Yes.
Did anyone else think Liam looked like he was having the time of his life? Just like one line.
Nope.
Yeah. The Force Ghosts are getting kind of, what are they doing, stand-up acts now? Well, it took you long enough to come here, but, you know.
You know what? I loved that line, actually.
Yeah. Well, and then Yoda, you know, what is page turners, aren't they? Those Jedi ghosts. Sarcastic ghosts. But Liam Neeson was asked if he was going to be on the series in an interview.
If it was a film, yes, I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to TV, I must admit, but I just like the big screen, you know.
I got a feeling that's why Scott and I got to see it, or Ken and I got to see it in the theater, was because Liam Neeson had his contract had to be shown in some theaters. Honestly, I do. I got a feeling that it has to be in the theater.
Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to send him a bottle of scotch and a thank you letter.
Just saying, right now, if I die first, I'm going to haunt you all as a Force Ghost and lead you to mischief.
I am so down with that, Jay. I'll send you my address.
I have it.
Even better.
I can see Skipper Jay as the new Peeves.
Yeah.
So now they're actually literally walking off into the sunset. We get the end after. This was it was like little endings that usually sometimes they do these things after the trailers or after the the
After
credits.
the end
but
credits.
we kind of got these before the end credits, and that was the end. They walked off into sunset. Overall, what are your? I'm assuming we all absolutely love this series. Where do we rate this? We got Book of Boba Fett, we got Mandalorian, now we got Kenobi. Where are we rating this? Number 2, number 3, number 1? Skipper J.
Again, A++++. I'm going to put this with Mando and Bad Batch. This is perfect Star Wars. I have waited literally my entire life for this, and I could not be any happier.
Chris?
Because I am such a huge Obi-Wan character fan, I am going to put this, I'm going to eke this right past Mandalorian, and I am just so hopeful that they do a season 2.
You know what, Christo, even if they don't come back for season 2, if we just get this one,
it's good. Yeah.
This was everything I wanted between 1 and 2.
Yeah, it had a perfect ending.
Yeah.
Scott, where are you ranking this?
I rank this number 1. This is what I looked for. Like I said before, this is what I looked forward to when it goes announced on Disney Plus. Yeah, I do enjoy Mandalorian, but I put this at number 1.
I know when we were doing the Mandalorian episode, you were saying that some of them almost felt like fillers too, a little bit too cutesy of the Mandalorian. Like, as much as you enjoyed the Mandalorian, there were some episodes I know that you were kind of like, well, this was kind of like a throwaway episode almost.
Yeah, well, it's TV, what you expect from TV.
Yeah, yeah. Whereas I don't think any of these were throwaway episodies.
No,
I mean, there's only 6 of them.
No.
Yeah. Justin?
Yeah, and I think I was one of them that also said that some of those Mandalorian episodes were kind of fillerish and all of that, didn't advance an overall storyline. Whereas that's one of the things I really liked about this, is that all 6 episodes told one story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that when we have these limited run series like that. That's kind of what I want to see. I want to see it tell a whole story.
Mm-hmm. Did we need this story though? Ken, did you think we needed this story? Like, did we learn anything new or anything different other than how he got the scar on his head?
I think we got so much more of the relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan just out of this series that in itself was worth the price of admission. I've been saying pretty much since the first time I came on the podcast here that this is the series that for me this is the one I've been the most excited for seeing out of any of them. I'm going to say, like, this is for me number 1 far and away. Like, I love Mandalorian, I love Bad Batch, I I even liked Boba Fett maybe more than some people. This one for me was very cinematic. It was like watching it. It hit all the right notes of being like the original trilogy Star Wars. I've always been a big fan of Ewan McGregor's, and he didn't disappoint. Nope. Like, this is just like Jay said, A++++. I feel like that scene in A Christmas Story where she's going around plus.
Yeah.
Well, I think you had to do it because there was 20 years in between. You gotta, the characters were doing something in that time frame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Scott, you're right there, because this is exactly what I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives us that kind of midpoint in between, but also, like you say, it gives us a little more insight into the relationship, not just between Anakin and Obi-Wan, but between Vader and Obi-Wan specifically.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Scott, with that, and not just Vader and Obi-Wan, but Obi-Wan moving on past the hardest part of his life and moving on from that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. I just want to say quickly, like, when I first saw Ewan McGregor in his first shot in the first episode, I looked at him and the first thing that came into my mind is, this is a broken human being.
Mm-hmm.
And the progression of him, and this is all 100% attributable to Ewan McGregor, the progression from where he was at the opening of that moment to where he is at the ending when he's going off into the sunset or the sunrise with Liam Neeson. The progression and the subtlety and the skill that Ewan McGregor has put into this character, I loved every second of it. Like,
I
that
totally
in itself.
agree.
Like, I'm to the point where I want to see Ewan McGregor read the phone book.
I guess he's no longer working as a meat cutter.
I don't think so.
Oh, no, now he's a crazy old wizard.
He hasn't shown up for a few days.
What's his space camel going to eat?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
His elephant camel.
Yes.
Do you suppose when they start calling him a crazy old wizard, maybe he goes out to do like kids' birthday parties and stuff like that?
Oh, here comes old Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we have Andor to look forward to next. That's coming up this year sometime. I can't remember when it's coming out. Is it, Scott, do you know?
Not offhand.
I want to say November.
That's what I'm kind of thinking.
I thought I heard something like October, November.
Yeah.
You know, Andor looks great, but Bad Batch Season 2, please give it to me now.
Sign up.
Yeah.
When is that supposed to start?
Fall, I think.
Okay.
I'm ready.
It's a
I'm ready.
great time to be a Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
Omega series figures to go with the other 4. So.
Can we just really quickly? I know you want to wrap it up, but I just want to, because I'm a humongous John Williams fan. And,
music.
At the time we're taping this, I read an article this morning that John Williams has basically announced that he's retiring as a composer. He's going to focus the last time he's going to focus on is his concert music. He's stepping away from movies. But they quoted some of John Williams' music in this episode 2 or 3 times, more so than they've done on any of the other episodes. I loved hearing the little snippet of the asteroid field chase. I loved hearing Leia's theme when they were playing it there. That scene between Ben and Leia's theme. I mean, I was tearing up. I admit it. Really, I was crying like a baby. And then the moment when they brought in the Force theme, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that kind of the first time we heard the Force theme with associated with Ben again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Full marks to try to remember the woman's name, Natalie. I can't think of the composer's name off the top of my head. It's Natalie something. For the way she incorporated John Williams' music, it was just such a natural, organic flow. It just felt like it had been there all along. And I mean, I know I'm fanboying here, and I apologize if anybody's getting bored. But
Ken, as soon as it's over, I said I'm going to buy the soundtrack to the series. I want to hear this music.
I agree. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I think that's what you get when you watch Star Wars. This is the music. It plays a big part in these movies.
Sure does.
You know?
Well, given how well this composer did with that and with incorporating John Williams' music as well as doing her own, maybe she's the future of Star Wars composer.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, with John Williams, and going a little off track here, but is he not going to do the Indiana Jones 5?
Actually, he said that's his final project. That's what he's going to be his swan song.
Good.
Okay.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
Alrighty, let's wrap this up, and we'll see you all in a few months with the next Star Wars series.
I had a blast. This was so much fun watching and recording with you guys. I can't wait till that show.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you can keep listening to the solo show. You don't have to, wait for us to do another Star Wars episode. We do a bi-weekly regular show you can tune into. So we've got some fun shows coming up for sure. And with that, Ken, take it away.
If you have a brilliant idea for a future edition of The Solo Show and would like to take your turn in the guest host's chair, then drop us an email at thesoloshow01@gmail.com. Tell us your idea for the show, and we'll contact you about a date and a time for you to join us. If you would just like to keep the conversation going or have a comment about a previous show, then visit us on Facebook at The Solo Show. All logos, sounds, and songs that are made by and for Disney and its affiliates are owned solely by the Disney Corporation and are not, nor are they intended to be, the ownership of The Solo Show podcast. We hope you'll join us for the next adventure on The Solo Show. Thanks for listening, and bye for now.